Hi, this is Clayton with iCEV, and we are very grateful to be joined by three gentlemen from Alabama, and they're going to introduce themselves. But this session is going to be about the Home Builders Association of Alabama's certification that they are going to offer on residential construction skills. And so we're going to let these three folks introduce themselves, and then we'll jump into some questions to talk about that certification and the benefit that it can have for students and how it can be a benefit to the entire construction industry. So Corey, let's start with you. Please just introduce yourself, your association, and a little bit about your background.
Well, my name's Corey Boland. I'm the executive director for the Alabama Home Builders Foundation, which is actually the charitable arm of the Home Builders Association of Alabama. I've been with the association for 20 years now. Started as a young kid, just 17 years old, and so they kept me around, so I guess I'm doing something right. But anyways, since I started, I was doing education primarily for the Home Builders Association. A couple of years ago, we had our foundation director retire. Actually, she moved back to Massachusetts. But when she left, they decided to roll everything education under the foundation. So they just kind of bumped me into that role. And I cover everything education for the association, whether it be classes or certifications like this or whatever it may be. So that's my role with the association. But yeah, like I said, I've been here 20 years. I enjoy it. It's a great place to be. Get to work with folks like Joel and Kenny here. So yeah, it's a good place.
Joel, how about you?
Well, I've been around a day or two. I'm 47 years into the HVAC industry. I work for Alabama Power Company. I have been with them for the past 37 years. So it's been a lot of fun. I manage the HVAC training center. We train approximately 1,000 people per year through this program, typically folks that are already in the industry. So we're trying to enhance their skills. Of course, I've been actively involved in the industry itself. I've served on the North American Technician Excellence Certification Committee, and as a subject matter expert. We've also been involved with heating, refrigeration, air conditioning of Canada. Also AHRI, which is air conditioning, heating, refrigeration in the U.S. And then also with other partners, para partners in air conditioning, heating, refrigeration accreditation. So I've just been involved a lot. Of course, been involved with Corey for a number of years, especially when the energy efficiency and home infiltration, duct leakage come into play. We partnered with them to do the accreditation for the state of Alabama and to provide that training. And so we've been working real closely with those guys. They're just a good partner and good friend. We're just glad to be a part of it. So proud to be here today.
Okay, well, thank you. And Kenny, how about you?
Yes, my name is Kenny Allen. I'm the Masonry Building Trade Instructor of Wallace Community College, Selma, where I've been teaching now for 22 years. I completed the program myself in 1980. I've been in masonry now probably 35 years, and pretty much been enjoying it the whole while I've been in it. We've graduated a lot of students in the industry. I'm well familiar with Alabama Home Builders, and they support our program with scholarship.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for being here. Corey, you talked a little bit about this, but maybe tell us about, what is the Home Builders Association of Alabama? What is your goals and your missions, and and who do you serve?
The Home Builders Association of Alabama, it's a statewide trade association representing home builders. And I say home builders, it's anything to do with home building. Builders, remodelers, land developers, plumbers, HVAC, masons, anything to do with construction, residential construction in Alabama, we represent them. Any issues relating to them, a lot of them are small business. We try to, in legislative efforts, just promote small business. Through that, we offer, I mentioned education before, we offer several education opportunities. We have discounts on education for our members. We, like Joel said, we've worked with them as far as energy efficient efforts go a few years back with state building codes and things like that. And of course, with Kenny, he mentioned the scholarships we do. That's something that's through the foundation. That each year the foundation, we provide scholarships to several students going into the building industry. This year, I think it was about 30 or 40,000 that we issued in scholarship through the foundation. But we're just, like I said before, we're representing the home building industry in whatever case that may be. We provide benefits to our members through discounts with Office Depot, GM products, just a variety of things that we do. It's just one of the things when you're in an association, you wear all sorts of hats. So it's, and I'm sure y'all can attest to it as well, what y'all do. But like coming up this week, we have our state meeting down at the lodge at Gulf State Park. So which is, it's a business meeting. We have associate council, variety of things. So we, with associations, we wear all sorts of hats, but it's kind of keeps you on your toes. So it's a lot of fun.
So what made the HBAA, why did you guys decide that you wanted to create the residential construction skills certification?
Well, there's a huge need for residential construction workers, and it's not just here in Alabama. I mean, there's something going on nationwide. And the thing with Alabama, we have all types of industries. So we have all types of people, trying to get to these potential workers. So we thought, what can we do to kind of help, kind of lead them towards residential construction? So that's why we came up with it. It is a residential construction certification. A lot of what we use in schools today, or that's out there in Alabama today, is kind of geared towards commercial a little bit. I mean, they can cater to what they need, but this right here, this certification is Alabama specific. So they're going to learn what they need to know when they step on a job site in the state of Alabama.
So Kenny is, as you mentioned, is the masonry expert here on the panel today. And so part of the certification process is to create preparation content for individuals who want to earn the certification to help them be successful on that certification exam. And so we're in the process of creating preparation content, and these two gentlemen, Joel and Kenny, have both agreed to be on camera to help with that content. So Kenny, why did you agree to be on camera? Why did you find it important to be part of that masonry content and provide that preparation content for individuals that want to be a part of this certification?
As Corey stated, there's a need for masons in particular. That's where I come in at. All across the state and country, we receive phone calls anywhere from hundreds of miles away in terms of contractors looking for workers. So definitely when this opportunity came up, I accepted it gladly, because that is what we're in the business of, trying to provide the labor force for contractors in regards to masonry. So it was not hard for me to make that decision, because at this particular time, I would say that in a year time, we might have 30, at least 30 students. And in that 30 student, probably 75 to 80% are going to complete the entire program. And in completing the program, part of that is that we try to help place them on construction job, particularly masonry. So certainly we wanted to be instrumental in not just helping our student, but at the same time, helping our industry partners as well.
Joel, how about you?
So again, work for a public utility, so the benefit that the end use customer gets out of having certified people working on their property or installing their equipment, building their home, whatever the case may be, it is very beneficial, especially to a utility, because we want energy efficient operation. And of course, you and I do as well. We want to see that on our power bill at the end of the month. But there's such a need for skilled workers, not only in Alabama, and as Corey already stated, we've got all these different industries that are coming into the state that are all competing for the same individual. And so the more that we can bring to the table, the more jobs that we can fill, not only from our industrial side, but also for the home builders and just for the repair companies that are out there. So on a webinar a couple of weeks ago, United States, just in the HVAC world, HVACR we're approximately 20,000 short in North America. So the need is great. And so partnering with the Home Builder Association, which, like I said, we've had a long-term relationship, it provides folks with the opportunity to learn maybe a trade or a skill that they have never thought about that they may want to pursue and help meet the needs. And I mean, it's been good to me. I've enjoyed it, and I would do it over again. So we're real excited about this whole process and looking forward to seeing the completion of it.
So let's move to the next question here. So as we talk about the certification and what the individuals who who go through the process and earn the certification, what they'll learn, let's just specifically talk maybe about some of those skills. And Corey, I'll ask you, what are going to be like the building construction type skills that these students will have a better knowledge of, or these individuals will have a better knowledge of once they complete the certification?
Well, as far as the building construction skills, I mean, this certification is going to cover all trades related to building a home. I mean, we start out with looking at drawings and foundations, top codes, site prep. Basically, they're going to learn the skills from just building a house from the ground up. We have plumbing incorporated in there, and we got Joel and Kenny working on the HVAC and masonry aspects. But they're going to learn. I mean, they're going to have the knowledge to just on everything related to building construction in Alabama. But yeah, and like I said, I mean, it's everything related, from the ground up.
So maybe since we have our HVAC and masonry folks with us today, maybe we could talk a little bit, just if we talk about masonry, Kenny, what specific skills will these students be able to walk away with, and how can they apply those to a construction site or a job?
Well, one thing that they would need to know is how to build scaffolds. They would need to know how to set up a workstation. They would need to know how to pretty much perform any tenders task. Normally, when a student becomes certified out of our program, he or she pretty much thinks that they're going to start out laying bricks and blocks, etc. Unfortunately, that's not true. In fact, it's not realistic. Most of them would not have worked on a real job, although they would have become certified. So once they go to a job, they would be expecting to do those particular things that I just named: build scaffold, have knowledge about safety precaution, adorn a harness, be able to work off the ground, be able to set up a workstation, be able to lay a brick, lay a block, do whatever it takes to get the job done. One of the things that I mentioned in my statement is that one thing that we found out, if we could get the student to bring some of those things, skills to the table that does not require any training, for instance, being on time, being responsible, all of those things, that would help them succeed, especially on the construction side of doing any type of work. So certainly, student who brings those particular trades or talents to our program are likely to be the ones that are more successful in obtaining a job and staying with it. But definitely they would need to know how to do some of those things. Yes.
And Joel, how about you from an HVAC perspective?
Well, our expectation in this is they would be an entry level technician. You know, it's hard to give them everything they need in a short time frame, but it will give them understanding on thermodynamics, Ohm's law as it relates to electricity, wire sizing as it relates to the HVAC systems. What does it take to make the home comfortable? You know, because that's our expectations is that when we come into our home, the air conditioning or the heating's working properly and we're comfortable. So, you know, so they're going to look through that whole process of what it's going to take, and also to be able to install properly using proper brazing techniques, and also following good safe practices so that they go home the same way they came to work. And that's safe and in one piece, and then everybody's happy at home when they get there. So you won't teach them the safety aspects because that's so important that we sometimes we get focused on the what's and the how's. We forget that we need to be safe in that process. So that's going to try to incorporate all of that into that process.
Okay. So, you know, we talked a lot about students here. We mentioned the word students, but really, you know, this could be something, Corey, right, that's available to any individual. So whether there's somebody that's coming out of one of these two gentlemen's programs, or whether there's somebody that's looking for a career change, or just somebody that's looking for continuing learning, right? So this could be applicable to all types of learners, correct?
Oh, it's open to all individuals. I mean, like you said, it could be somebody coming directly out of their program, or maybe somebody that I talked with a guy a while back. He's had a job for 10 years. He wants a career. So this could be somebody like that that's just looking for a career change. But yeah, it's open to all individuals, regardless of skill set or knowledge of the industry. They'll have what they need, or most of what they need, once they've completed the certification.
So you guys talked a lot about you try to get students that go through your program placement and those types of things. Kenny, I'll throw this question to you. Do you feel like these individuals who earn the certification would be more hireable by some of these contractors if they had this particular certification?
Definitely, certainly. Contractors want to know that students have been taught basic things that are related to construction, such as safety. They would love for them to have their OSHA certification, OSHA 10. They would love for them to have that. And they would love for them to have fundamentals. They're not all that concerned about them being in terms of a professional, in the sense of having these super skills that they should have attained, more so having the responsibility to, as I stated earlier, to come to work, apply themselves, work hard, and work safe. I think they would definitely be more acceptable knowing that they've been through a program and received some form of certification showing that they've been through a program and learned a whole lot of those particular skills.
Oh, how about you?
Well, I think all credentialing is beneficial. I guess the term that we hear more of today is stacking credentials. And the more credentials you have, it at least expresses to the future employer that, hey, they at least know what they're talking about. And we hope that they can perform that job. But it also shows the employer that you have the desire to learn. And when you have, by earning that credential, you have put forth the effort to get that education or that training that you need. And so because we're ever learning, our industry is changing now. I think bricks are made pretty much the same way and blocks are, but air conditioning is changing. Now I can control my air conditioning from home on my cell phone. So, we're moving into a more of a high-tech world today than we ever have, especially in home building, home automation. We have Corey's very familiar with a smart neighborhood that you can, the home will greet you when you walk in the door. And it cuts on the stove and the television and the lights and says, welcome home. So I guess the days of the Jetsons that's kind of what we kid around here is coming true. You know, it's not rosy, but it's close. So, and for you younger folks that don't know that, Google the Jetsons. But it's important that we have these credentials because it's a continual process. And as we move forward, we continue to earn more credentials. And it gives us a sense of satisfaction as individuals when we have achieved these, but it also makes us more desirable for those that are looking to hire us.
So, you know, we've actually addressed this, but Corey, if you wanted to maybe give some final thoughts here. I had a last question here, but I think you guys hit on all of the hit the high points of that. But if you wanted to maybe just last thoughts here of you know, why this is important and why folks should earn the certification and what it has to offer them, and we can wrap up with that question.
Yeah, and like you said, I think we've covered a little bit, but I want to echo what everybody was saying, and I think it was Kenny was, you know, talking about being professional and that commitment. You know, I travel the state, not so much the past few months, but travel the state talking with contractors, you know, about what they look for in employers, you know, and one of almost the first thing they say is, are they going to show up, you know, each day? So, you know, if they have this certification, they've shown that commitment that, look, I'm interested in this. I really want to do this. So, you know, they're already shown their interest in it just by completing the certification. But it's in one of the things too, this is developed by builders. You know, they're the ones who are telling me, look, this is what we want to see in employers for employees. So, you know, they have some, I guess, skin in the game that, you know, hey, when they finish this program, you know, they're going to be job ready. I mean, it's going to be, you know, a learning curve. It can be for construction. It can be, you know, if they have no experience stepping on the site for the first time, it can be pretty overwhelming. But with this, it will help with some of that. So, you know, we've talked about, you know, the industry here and, you know, how so many people are you know, recruiting the same people. So we, you know, we thought about doing this and giving them the skills to be productive on a residential job site would really help our industry. And so we appreciate working with all of y'all on this.
Yeah, so just maybe to end a little bit, what iCEV's role is in this is that we will be the testing platform for the certification, as well as helping put together some of that preparation content, so the video productions and those kinds of things. So we'll be working and looking forward to working with Joel and Kenny soon to get that content put together. So that would be our role, is to help with the preparation content and then testing platform. But again, as was mentioned, all of these concepts and everything that they're going to learn has come from the industry. And this is what the industry said that is needed. And so that's really super important, and I think going to be very beneficial to those that earn the certification. So thanks, gentlemen, for joining me. Thanks for everybody that's listening. And if you'll hang tight, we're going to follow up with a Q&A in just a second.